What up, y'all? It's your girl Ash.
I'm Amor.
And this is Single, Fat, and Complicated. And we have a special guest,
Beauty.
It's Miss Beauty. So I know for the last few episodes we kind of been, lighthearted, goofy, funny, talking about relationships and stuff. But this podcast, we're gonna go a little bit deep, a little bit spiritual, a little bit into our ancestors and stones and spirit work and all the things that comes with those. I don't want to say religion, spirituality, but religions and all this type of stuff. So I am going to be learning with you guys. I'm going to be asking these young ladies some questions about that. Because they know a little bit or a lot of it more than I do when it comes to that. Because I'm not religious. I say I'm spiritual. But it's more so on the Christian side of things. But I kind of take a lot of little things from a lot of people. Like a little Buddha here, a little Christian there. Back in the day, there was a religion where all these religions on one roof shared a common thing. And then men, colonizers, got in the way. And then that's when it came to all these different religions. But that's not another story. I'll let them explain that. Colonize us. So that's why we have all these different branches and things across the world. And some of the messages that we may or may not believe in may have been manipulated for control financial gain.
Multiple reasons, but mainly to control us and steal our power.
So, I'm going to ask them some questions. They're going to answer them. We're going to get a little history lesson because some of these things come from the first continent. The first life that was on record is Africa. First human remains was in Africa. A lot of these materials, raw materials, is from Africa. Okay, so ladies, tell us a little bit about spiritual work and what does that actually mean? What's the history behind those things?
I'm gonna hold the mic. Okay. I think if you're talking about traditional African practices, for me, it was, I was shoved into it because like most Black people in America, you grew up in a Christian household underneath Christian influence, whether it be your grandma, your aunties, your grandpa, your parents. Most of your family members are Christian. And I feel like, it's an indoctrination. It's a conditioning, and it's one that needs to be washed out.
Yeah, whitewash that.
Please. Any religion that tells you to hate yourself and to sacrifice your happiness and your well-being on this plane of existence in hopes of being treated better in another, that don't sound right to me.
From a book that has been rewritten millions of times to where the first book said slaves obey their master. Okay? It was all a scare tactic. And I'm not scared of you.
Yeah, I think being Black in America, we've learned to tread carefully, but also that we were made to tread carefully or influenced to tread carefully, but
I never have.
Yeah. I've been a rebel with a cause for a long time.
I have not behaved.
Not one day.
So I have a question. I'm sure y'all got questions. Especially when it comes to Christianity. This country is so deep in Christianity, especially because we're in the South.
Christianity is anti-Black.
Bible Belt. So why do you guys say that it's anti-Black? Like, what do you mean? What's the history behind saying it's anti-Black?
Okay, for me to want to do things like honor my ancestors, not praise them, honor them, meaning I have an altar set up where I can get close to them, where I feel like I'm close to them. I can sit and I talk to them. I give them libations, just like they do Jesus. But you tell me that's demonized. But every first and third Sunday, you want to drink the blood and eat the body
of the image of a white man.
When in the Bible, if we're going to be all the way real, skin of copper, hair of wool. Oh.
they tell you one thing and show you another. It's sleight of hand. It's magic. If you want to call it anything else, that's definitely what it is. They're practicing magic on you, meanwhile telling you that magic is evil and demonistic.
Catching the Holy Ghost. What ghost is it? What are you?
But y'all don't believe in ghosts
what
or
are you
spirits.
letting take care of or take over your body while you have the Holy Ghost?
Mm-hmm.
What spirit is that? What spirit are you welcoming? And to be honest, after you've had your bout with the Holy Ghost, you're so tired. That's an energy drainer. That is an energy vampire, and you let it do it.
If you're not cognizant or aware of exactly what the spirit realm or world or its spirits are, and you just go willingly into a temple, because that's what churches are, you go into a temple and you listen to a man upon an altar who is giving veneration to a God that you really don't know, and they are asking for money, energy, time, your presence, because I know you have been in church, like any visitors in here today, come on to the church, the doors are open. It's the same spiel everywhere. It's the same everywhere you go. So you are literally putting yourself in a scenario where you do not know what you are inviting into yourself, into your own temple, and you're putting yourself and your spirit in danger. And I'm not saying that they all prey on you, but I mean, how many of us have heard about pastors in their congregations? Pastors preying on women in the and some men in the congregation. So to me, going off of the word of a book of manipulation, and it's not to say that there's actual magic in the Bible. There is. But they have misused it and misinformed you for so long, and the conditioning is so great that y'all literally believe that honoring your ancestors who literally gave birth, your grandma, I don't know how many of y'all grandmas are still here, but both of mine is gone. But you telling me that it's evil to speak to my grandma who I know the bulk of my life.
But you want her to come visit you after she's passed. I know she watching over us. How you know that?
I know my grandma watching over me and making sure that we okay. That's the same as ancestor veneration.
Or you have a dream and say, she came to see me last night. Mm-hmm. You don't even realize she trying to tell you something.
When you walk past a stranger in public and you smell her perfume randomly, and she been gone for your mama, your grandma, whoever it may be. Somebody that you have a strong tie to in your own family, your own lineage. Lineage is a real thing. That is what they have used. I know a lot of people heard the conspiracy of the presidents, and like all the presidents are related, right? It's lineage thing. If we're talking about in England, in monarchies, they believe in keeping it in the family. Wink, wink. They believe in having sex with their own family members to keep the bloodlines pure, so to speak. I don't know how pure it is, and it's his uncles screwing nieces and nephews screwing aunties.
Oh, a bunch of uncle daddies.
Anyway, so basically what they're saying, y'all, because I know y'all are probably listening, it's like, what? Basically, what happened was the ancestries and the spiritual work that they're talking about comes from our cultures, mostly our cultures in Africa. But to make it look like it's a bad thing to do, and for you not to know yourself, and for them to teach you what they want you to know, is why they did that. So that's what they mean by the Christianity and the Bible. And actually, I always tell people that you can't really judge a book until you read it, right? And when you actually read it, do we really know it's coming from who you think it's coming from? Slavery was a financial gain for other cultures, period. That's what it was. It was a financial gain for other cultures. And the way that you can control people is their religion. That's the closest thing to them.
Well, they said the amount of money that was made by the white people was in the trillions. Mm-hmm. trillions. Okay, that trillions is what's that? 9 zeros, 9, 11. So it's a lot of zeros.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you can't make up that kind of wealth. Okay, nobody should be able to have that amount of wealth off the backs and the blood of an entire people. And it's not just, African. There's also the Aboriginals that were here, the indigenous people who belong to this land, because a lot of Black people are indigenous as well.
Latino, yeah.
The Afro Latinos, the Native Americans,
Latino period, Asian.
Like, it's a lot of that going on too, who also have traditional practices and spirituality or religions, whatever you want to call it. Smudging is that started here. It's not just, from over there. Everybody didn't come from overseas.
Nah, some of us were definitely here.
A lot of us were definitely here. You can ask the Geechees in South Carolina, which is just a little bit away from us.
The Creole in Louisiana.
The Creoles in Louisiana, the people who were already on this land before the pox of
Christopher Columbus nasty ass
came along. So it was a lot of already things, and that's where hoodoo comes from. Voodoo. You can call it what you want to call it, but there's Santeria. There's light and dark in everything. There's a duality to everything. There's a duality to all people, and I just don't see that as bad. I don't see it as a bad thing. I believe that power is power, and you do with it what you will when it's necessary. And it's like, what did I explain to you? Like 666 is not evil. It's not a bad thing. They convinced you that it is, but if you know anything about science, if you know anything about atoms, melanin is made up of 6 parts: proton, neutron, and electron. That's them trying to convince you that it's evil. So if you know anything about atoms and science and compounds, you would know that it's not evil. It's just another way for them to convince you that it's bad and not to operate within your power. This is not something that I was like acting like. I didn't go to church as a kid. As a kid, my mama went to work. My parents went to work. And like we didn't go to church every Sunday. When I was at my grandma's house, we would go to church, but it wasn't nothing deep. I didn't get into spirituality until I was shoved into it. Mm-hmm. I was attacked by a spirit, and I didn't have any recourse other than to learn about it, because I didn't want that to happen to me again. It's no different than being attacked in any other kind of way, except for that was like that was like a soul rape, to be shoved out of your body without your consent. It's something that I can't really explain. It's a supreme violation, and I wasn't gonna let it happen again. So, I feel like if you're going to be about that life, then you really should do some studying. You really should do some work, because I've been at this. I've been a Buddhist for 12 years. That helps with my anxiety. It helps center me. It helps with my anger. It helps with a lot of things. But Buddhism and being able to practice traditional African or indigenous practices has really helped me know myself better. And so that's why I will forever be a spiritualist and not any part of any religion.
So you're probably wondering, well, you say you're a Christian, how are you sitting next to? Well, as I stated earlier, guys, I take a little bit of everything from everybody. So it's, she said it's not strange. It's not strange at all. I take a little bit of everything. I have Buddha on my chest right now. So, I think that's what I'm trying to have them teach you guys. Even if you're not a spiritualist, you take the good parts of everything and you make it into what is beneficial and strong for you. I don't believe that you take a religion 100% and just take it and run with it. Cause then I don't believe that you don't challenge it either. Like you should challenge it. Like, well,
You should challenge
why is
everything.
and we always going to do about sins because that's what Christians do. We talk about sins. Like they say, oh, being gay is an abomination. We just can't do that. But you're not supposed to be cheating your husband too. They're supposed to be equal.
I'm trying to tell you.
They're supposed to be equal. So why would you take one and be, oh, well, that's okay, we'll save them, but we can't save this person over here?
Hey, why?
Makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you should take a little of things that strengthen and is positive in your life and take it on wherever it comes from. Even if you have to mix it. Like I said, I mix mine. I might take a little from Buddha, I might take a little bit from Christian, I might take a little bit from my African ancestors, put it together, wherever it empowers me. I don't believe any religion should not empower me. There is a documentary on Netflix. It is kind of, I want to say the Woman King is based off this documentary that Netflix came out before they put Woman King on there. And it's a documentary that is based off the character in Woman King. It's 4 episodes.
Oh, that Queen show?
Yes, it's 4.
I started it.
It's 4 episodes. And you will see why they say Christianity. Yeah, Christianity is a thing. Yeah, you need to watch it. It's really good. This will actually be a brief synopsis of what they're trying to tell y'all right now. So I want to go into more of the spiritual work.
Wakanda is Rwanda. Sorry.
I want to go more into the spiritual work. So can you tell us more about like stones? So people are very interested in spiritual stones and what they mean and what they do. So we'll have Beauty explain what this. So we'll explain what the stones mean, what they stand for, and what you're supposed to do with them.
Because these are
Florida water in a spray bottle. Take it with me everywhere.
I say.
Okay, hold on, because I only got 2 hands.
Ashe.
Give me that clear quartz.
And that cabinet right there? With both of them?
No, just the clear quartz.
I don't want to drop it.
Mainly, this is a weapon. Okay.
Get rocked.
I like to feel like I do everything in love and light because I don't be want bad karma, bad juju, all that. But this clear quartz serves so much purpose. It's a stone of protection, clarity, abundance, and I need all of that. So I keep this in my home. I have a smaller bag of stones. I don't know where they at. I think I need to sage that demon that got my bag. Sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, I keep clear quartz in my house. I keep goldstone in my house. I always forget the name of that crystal, but it's forever moving. It's never where I left it.
They be doing that. Crystals will change planes of existence by themselves.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They do that.
And they will change what they do for you when you need it. Crystals give you what you want when you need it, mostly, not when you ask for it.
When people be like, oh, you believe that in a rock?
It's not believing in the rock. I believe what this rock's purpose is. They weren't here and created by the gods and Orishas for nothing.
Everything is vibrational. You are vibrational.
My hand is vibrating.
Everything is vibrational. The radio, everything is frequency and energy. And again, that goes back to atoms and science. Magic is simply science unexplained.
Basically.
It's a lack of your knowledge. And for those who are not willing to learn, it'll forever elude you. And that's okay. You want to be eluded. I want to be informed.
In every aspect.
And in every aspect. It's again, it just ties back into like, I think we as Americanized Black people here in this timeline are so far away and so removed from who we are. Because if anybody in your family has done their 23andMe or their lineage, you'll come to see that a lot of us have African in us. I know I have some Ghanaian and Sudanese and Southern Africa up in me. I also have Aboriginal in me somewhere. I don't know how that happened, but
I'm like 35% Scandinavian.
I can see that.
That's
That bothers you?
Kind
How'd
of
you find
brutal.
that?
23andMe. Wrong with you?
I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't know you did 23andMe. Was it just you, or was it like your brothers?
It was just me.
It was just you.
Did it for me.
What about you? Have you done?
No.
No.
So, going back to the stones, can you tell us some more, like the different types and what they mean?
The different types, I would have to show you every last one of them. Do you mind showing you?
I should have took a picture. We went to the spiritual store the other day, and I should have took a picture. She had a whole list
She did.
of exactly what each stone meant. But we're just going to show you a few of the stones that we
I
have.
also keep onyx for protection, purple amethyst, red jasper, tiger's eye. Those are all protection stones. They ward off evil. Oh, those are the stones I gave you.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to show you some of what they look like. Because I know you like stones. Stones.
What is this adventuring?
It's the green one.
That one?
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys can't see that.
Your nails are in the way.
Haha, yeah, they are.
Can
It's
you-
adventuring.
And what is that for?
Adventuring is good for grounding. If you don't know what grounding is, okay.
It was hot. Don't belong to me.
You're like, this is not hot to me at all.
Because it's yours.
Adventuring is good for grounding. You can also take your shoes off and go outside, especially in a rainstorm.
Or lay out there.
Or lay out there.
That is a cleansing.
It really is. It also
So
good
what
for
you mean by
prosperity.
cleansing, just to put it in other terms that people know, is that kind of like being
Baptized.
But in a natural way. This is another
Different names, y'all, but it's the same stuff.
Same
But
thing.
you really listen to it.
They just remixed it. Honestly, they remixed it, put their own stuff on it.
The English language was built to have us create our own spells against ourselves. That's why it's called spelling and cursive.
You can curse the shit out of somebody. I think that's why I like cursing so much. Anyway, this is another type of quartz. This is not clear. This is smoky quartz. There are different variations of smoky quartz. This one has got like a little bit of an orange tint to it. You can't really see it right there. But it's mostly white. And when it's smoky, it's not see-through. Smoky quartzes are generally all good for the same thing, but different colors sometimes mean different things. I don't have the Crystal Bible in front of me, so I'm not sure. If you are any type of Asian or been around Asian influence, this is jade. I don't think I should have to explain what jade is. And some of y'all are named Jade. Y'all know what jade do. Good luck, financial gain and prosperity. I have a lot of financial gain and prosperity. What I'm wearing on my neck is iron pyrite, better known as fool's gold, because when they were mining for it, you can see that sparkle, sparkle, bling, bling. It looks like gold a little bit. Prosperity and protection. And it's raw. You keep pirating your what?
My car.
In your car. Yeah, there's a difference between tumble stones, raw, polished. All of them means different things. This would be an example of a tumbled stone. It's been cut and it's been shaped and it's been polished. That's raw. Let me see. This is blue jasper. I love this one. This looks like the earth to me. And it's good for grounding.
The firmament.
The firmament. Is this tiger's eye? Yes. This is tiger's eye. I gotta put some of these down. This is tiger's eye. I don't know if you've ever seen a tiger up close, but this is what they shit look like. It usually is like a really gold hue to their eyes with like marbled with brown. Tiger's eye is good for protection.
Mainly. Grounding.
Protection, grounding. I need grounding a lot. I am constantly on the move in my profession, so I need to stay grounded, and this is how I do it. So everybody has a different collection for different things.
So with stones, when you're someone who wants to get into a little bit more like spiritual work and spiritual stones, how do you pick them? Do you pick them based on color?
You don't pick them. They pick you. You remember what I told you to do?
I know. I'm telling you to tell.
Okay, my bad. So if ever you go to an establishment, a gemstone, spiritual store, my advice is for you to close your eyes and place your hands over the bevy of stones and do this until you feel a magnetic pull. That means that it chooses you and you need it. Pick it up. Don't think about it. Just pick it up.
Also remember, if you happen to misplace a stone, it is not misplaced. That stone has served its purpose.
And it got to get up out of there. You got to get up out of it and go do something else. Because if you hold on to a stone that you no longer need, you can literally put yourself back in the predicament that you don't want to be in. Because you don't need it anymore. A good lesson in letting go. What?
Because I didn't need it no more. You remember all the stones I sent you? Especially amethyst?
Yeah. I have a lot of amethyst. Not all of it, but rose quartz. I mean, I can go on about this for hours.
We know we're not gonna go on, but basically that is when they talk about spiritual stones or stones. Period. These are what they're talking about when you go into like a spiritual store. So with spiritual work, is meditation part of it, or do you have to meditate in order to be part of it?
I meditate. Hold on, this is a little noisy. I meditate. I told you I'm a Buddhist. It has helped me to control my emotions. I'm also a Cancer.
Emotional as shit. All
right. No. We just wade in deep waters. Okay. Nothing is ever surface or shallow for us.
Okay. AKA she explained real long for no reason. Go ahead. I do.
That is all over my face.
You like stuff in your face. Go ahead.
Different types of food.
This
is wonderful.
Anyway, wait, what's your question?
Is meditation part of it?
Meditation. I meditate to keep the peace up here and in here, to regulate my emotions. If you want to be able to get more in tune and in touch with yourself, that voice that's in your head or voices, because I have a couple of them, it's the best way for me to communicate with myself. A lot of people are out of touch with not only themselves, but reality too.
Source. With
source. They're out of touch and they don't tap in, and you really need to.
I do a lot of blurting, y'all.
So I believe that you have to try multiple things. It's just like it's just going like going out to eat.
And if you do try meditation, don't get discouraged, because I am still actively working on quieting everything. Because I could be in the middle of meditation, zen as I want to be, and here come a voice in my head. Hey, you remember the other day when Shorty had said woo wop the bam, and I had to tell her I'm a fly swatter? I'm still working on it.
So what is the voice like reminding you to fly swat people?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to always be a fly swatter. And that's why chanting helps. I chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Some people,
and I chant fuck around and find out.
Some people don't chant anything. Some do some do
Quiet.
some do just quiet, and there are different ways to go about it. That was just a way that I was introduced. I read a book about Buddhism. I decided to try it, and the first month that I tried it, I made great gains in my life, and so I never looked back. I don't turn my back on things that work for me.
Not to be funny, but the moment I left the church, I experienced nothing but gains.
Why did you leave the church?
The people.
It was the people.
It was the people. A lot of us experience church hurt from the people that are supposed to, the leaders. The people that are supposed to lead you.
This was the pastor and
Him and his wife.
okay. The pastor and the first lady.
Yeah. And honestly, I hadn't looked back. They can't say shit to me today, but I hadn't looked back. I started to ask more questions. I started to realize that this ain't that.
Did they not give you responses to your questions?
Or you didn't believe
No,
the
I
responses?
started asking questions after I left.
Okay.
Yeah, after I left. And I think I hit the ground running with my first reading when I found out I was a fairy baby.
You took that shit to heart. She wanted to be Tinkerbell
So bad.
So bad. And it is important to say, we've known each other for a while. I was very much spiritual before before I met her, and she was still in the church. You cannot force this on anybody. She would ask me questions, and I'll be like, you gotta find out for yourself, friend. It used to piss her off. It really did. It used to piss her off.
Answer the question.
And I'm like, I can't give you an answer that I don't have. You know, so you literally have to experience it for yourself. So if all them Babaleyus and Ifianas is in your DMs and shit trying to message you, ignore. Okay, they want you to pay them for a ritual.
They don't come to you. You naturally find them.
And so ignore all them people that be trying to hop in your inboxes or, spamming you and shit. But don't send no messages to me. I get my messages from source. They speak real loud and clear when they want to. They yell at you.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, they be yelling. They be yelling sometimes. That voice that's not yours, but you hear it in your head.
Or, because they'll call my name real loud, and I'll be like, huh?
And for the people who probably they hear voices, my Christian folks, it's called discernment. We call it discernment, but they call it voices that they're talking. It's the same. I'm trying to show y'all it's the same thing. It's just different words. Thing. We call it discernment. They call it voices from their ancestors, but we call it higher power. They call it a source. It really is words, y'all. It's just words.
Words are a spell. I believe, like you said, I believe in fuck around and find out. I don't practice harm, but if you wanna harm.
That's another question. Is all magic bad or harmful?
No.
And why do you call it magic?
Because that's what it is.
There are a couple of names from it. Life imitates art, art imitates life. One of my favorite quotes that I've ever heard because it's very true. All those shows that you watch, they will put the information in your face, but put it in a goofy box or in a TV show and be like, oh, it's just a show, it's just a movie. Mm-hmm. When really it's real life. There are so many different ones.
Especially.
There are a lot of those. But if you just any show that's about magic and vampires, werewolves, and all that type of shit, magic is also known as organized chaos because we are chaotic beings. I don't know if y'all don't know that, but we are.
For the Christians, revival.
What? So I've never been to a revival proper. I've heard of them. I know that you've been to one. What goes on at a revival?
You want to be totally honest?
Yeah.
Although I've been to plenty, I always fall asleep.
You fall asleep in the church? Why do you go to sleep?
Because it ain't for me.
Oh.
So I've never been to a revival, but I think the basic definition of it is like a renew. You're renewing yourself.
It's like a spirit
It's
refresher.
like a spirit
it's a
refresher.
ritual.
So
Yes.
it's like
Oh.
I'm coming to you dirty in a way. Let's just put it in simple terms. I'm coming to you dirty.
Okay.
And now I'm here for this week to get renewed and cleansed to a new start,
Numbers
to a new
are important.
beginning. So that's basically what it is. So it is,
The more people that talk
yet
about
again,
They keep hitting me.
words, y'all. Y'all call it revival, they call it a ritual.
Okay, wait. So I have a question. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Because I know that you're Christian, but as Christian,
Yeah,
Christian
right.
adjacent.
Jason.
Your daddy is from where, Mississippi?
Clarksdale.
Clarksdale, Mississippi. That's very, very, very,
And
very
not
Bible Belt.
religious Christianity at all.
But what about his people though?
Yes.
Okay, so going around his people when you were younger, they didn't never take you to revival or to church or nothing like that?
Oh, I went to church, but not revival.
Okay.
I went to church Sunday service all the time, but not revival.
Okay.
Also, guys, there are a lot of people in the church, older women especially, they practice hoodoo.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Everybody ain't in there for the same thing.
That's very true. They had to, well, see,
That's how they
and
did it.
that's how they had to hide it for those women who still practice and believe. They had to hide it in church. That was the only way for them to, not get murked. So unalive.
Sweeping, or your grandmama would tell you, "Nah, baby, don't sweep that way. That's gonna bring you bad luck. You have to sweep away from you."
Mm-hmm.
Or the spitting on the broom when somebody sweep your feet. Or
Purse on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Or jump in the broom, you get married.
Mm-hmm.
It's a ritual.
All those little things. My grandmother was raised in Kentucky, Russellville, Kentucky.
Bible Belt. My mother was also in Arkansas. Bible Belt Christian down.
Y'all call it superstition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Words. Yeah.
my grandmother was also a healer. My grandmother did not go. I don't remember a time of her ever going to when I was younger, hospital doctors. No, you got a cut or a burn. She put kerosene on it. Or turpentine. She had kerosene because she had a old school mower that ran off kerosene. She had an old school washer. Like it agitated, but you had to feed the clothes through the rollers. She dried her clothes on the line. She had a whole yard full of vegetables and fruit. And if you sick, it's cod liver oil.
Father John's, bless you.
It's cod liver
Disgusting.
oil. It's teas. It's tincture. We were given, I don't know how good this is, but she used to make wine and she used Everclear. She would call it corn wine. It's moonshine.
Corn liquor.
It's moonshine all day long. But when we was younger and we were cutting teeth, just dip her finger in there and rub it on your gums, and you go to sleep. My grandmother was a healer. She never. I don't remember going to the doctor for anything.
Give you a buzz and a hug and tell you go lay down.
Yes. I saw my grandmother pull my cousin's teeth out with pliers. She pulled his teeth out with pliers, soaked a cotton ball in that Everclear, put it in the hole with some, I think, Everclear and salt, and gave him a shot of the Everclear before she pulled it out, because you gotta get them loose.
It was an
antiseptic. Yes. Oh, that's what it was. Dr. Titian's on the cotton ball. If you don't know what Dr. Titian's is, it's the truth. Go get you some. They sell it in Walmart. Soaked it in salt and Dr. Titian's, put it on the hole, and sit that man to bed, and he was fine. The next day he went to work. I don't recall ever having to go to the hospital around my grandmother, because my grandmother healed any and everything that was wrong with us.
You have so many stories about your grandma and her being a healer, when I come from totally different. I got one grandma that's a Christian and one grandma that's a Jehovah's Witness, and I believe both of those religions are cults.
Yes. I believe that most religions are cultish, in the nature and tune that they want you to give them money.
Mm-hmm.
In spirituality, well, in this day and age, everything is done online. You know, it's a lot of tarot readers online on Instagram and TikTok or whatever and whatnot. And there's nothing wrong with that, so long as the energy is, vibing. And I always ask my ancestors for permission to do everything. I promise you, every time I leave the house, when I go on a long trip, I ask them for protection and guidance. Anytime I get thrown off guard or I drive for a living, so if I feel like, it's a dangerous avenue, I ask for discernment to know whether or not I should go this way or that way. There's not a moment in my life where I'm not actively talking to them.
And listening.
And they hear me all the time.
And I do want to say that there's good and bad in all religions or spiritual work. Everybody's not there for the purpose of what they're supposed to be there for.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Very
in
true.
Christianity, Buddhism, extremism, spiritual work. It's light and dark everywhere.
Duality.
So what I tell people, if you go to church every Sunday, you're supposed to go there to get in a connection with him, not your pastor,
You
not
can
the
do that at
people,
home.
not the people in the church. And a lot of people go to church for the people. You're gonna fail every time.
It's a
you do that.
fashion show.
You're gonna
Oh,
fail.
yeah. That's what them ladies in the church
Oh.
had.
You know, spiritual work. If you think you're gonna go get a couple rocks and then that's what it's gonna do, no. It takes active work all the time, and you have to follow and guide yourself in the right folks, spirit, people, place, and things.
Your
That's for
ancestors-
anything that you follow. And it's okay to question what you're following, because that's how you get an understanding.
Question everything.
That's how you get an understanding. You can't get an
Question yourself.
understanding of the world. I don't care if it's a religion or spiritual work or Buddhist or whatever you follow, if you don't question. And if that religion or that person, because it's not the religion, it's not the spirituality, it's that person that you're talking to refuses to answer the question, then that's the wrong person. Sometimes you gotta find out on your own.
What are you about to say?
So what you gonna say, Vicky?
I don't remember.
Okay, so I just want to keep that clear.
I'm
There's
just clicking
bad.
this time.
There's bad and good in everything. So people like,
Duality. It's like,
it's bad and good in everything. You might say, well, magic is bad. No, that person that you're looking at is only doing bad. So, but you have to have good and bad. Y'all do know that, right? That's the universe.
Y'all ever heard
Light
of Harry
and dark.
Potter? Y'all ever heard of Harry Potter?
Gryffindor, Slytherin.
Gryffindor, Slytherin.
Gotta
Okay.
be.
Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw or something.
Every
in the middle.
movie has a what? A hero?
And the
And a
villain.
villain.
But Harry Potter rode that line in the middle, right? He had duality. He had discernment. And he had innate magic that he tapped into. And it took him a couple of movies to get there.
Also, Harry, that's my G.
Yeah, that is. She loves
That's
it.
my G. Harry had people sent to him
Mm-hmm. By his ancestors.
by his ancestors
And mom and
that
dad.
were a part of his tribe. I believe wholeheartedly that your ancestors and your spirit guides are going to guide you exactly where you need to be and put you with exactly who you should be connected to, whether it is for a reason, season, or lesson.
And that is why things don't happen when we want them to. It happens when the universe is ready to. I don't care if you are God. He is. He's on time God. If you have a relationship with him, I ain't talking about your pastor.
Oh,
But that's the thing. I'm sorry. That's exactly what I was about to say. The church is just a building.
It's
y'all.
just a building,
It's
y'all.
just
a
we were
building.
created.
You can go
in
to the
his
spiritual
image.
store and buy one rock and still not be spiritual.
How many times have you heard that your body is your altar and you should
Your
treat it as
temple.
such? Your temple.
And you should
treat
treat it as
Mhm.
such.
Mhm.
Because if you
Or-
truly believe in what you believe in, it goes with you anywhere you go. It's not just there on Sunday morning
Or hearing
or Thursday
where
Bible study
one or two is gathered.
or
He-
Buddhist
He
or
is there in that presence. That's because
Yes.
God is within you. You are God.
Mhm.
He is within you.
He-
He or she is within you.
I
Whatever
personally
you
believe.
choose.
God, my.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's just whatever you choose to believe, whether it be man or woman. I know that my God is a woman.
I was just about to say.
My God is a woman.
I was
'cause
just about to say. I don't know where y'all came from, but I slid right up out of a woman. I came out of her portal. All of us women walking around, we have portals in between our legs. That's
Some of them broke.
That's true.
But it's still
some of them funky. That's neither here nor there. But all of us came into this plane of existence from a woman. So whether the man provides the seed, and then there's a spark of life that happens, which is like HGC, whatever. But that is the portal in which you come through. And I don't understand how y'all got it confused, but they be remixing shit. But that's my God. My God is my mother. And I'm made in her image. That's why I look like her. Okay?
Well, your mama not my mama.
Mm-hmm. But you my tribe. And all tribes resemble. She had a hairstyle the other week and she picked up the phone. I was like, Mom, thought that nigga was my mama.
I don't look like nobody. Yeah, I look like a Dorsey.
You do look like. No, you look like your cousin. You look like
a Dorsey.
Yeah. But you look like you could be her daughter and not your mama's. Like, you don't look like your mama to me. I don't know where she just had you. Yep. You just came through her portal.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that his genes are strong.
So I hope that y'all learned something. I hope you saw more of the similarities than the difference. Because I know some of y'all in the comments is about to go ham.
It's crazy though, because we can talk all day. We can't give you the game though, baby.
You got to play it.
She had to learn. I had to learn.
You got to play it.
I'm still learning.
Ain't no way to understand the game other than to play it.
Until you understand and overstand.
And I say this, and I want y'all to focus more on the similarities that's around the world now. More of the similarities of what they're talking about between Christianity, Buddhism. The similarities versus the one or two differences that y'all like to fight about across the world. And for all of these extremists that's telling you this is the only way to go.
Yeah, because everybody ain't going to heaven. I want y'all. Your cousin that died last week, he ain't go to heaven.
It's not enough space.
Everybody can't go. So stop saying, I know he looking down.
Heaven and
hell is a perception. It's a scare tactic. And it's unreal. There's an astral plane and a spirit realm. Do with that what you will.
You must make your own mind up.
Make your own mind and your own decisions and ask questions and be informed is basically what we're saying. And look at the similarities between the religions and the spirituality work that are just different definitions and different words that actually mean the same thing. We're talking about the same thing, y'all. Y'all fighting over the same thing. It's just a different word. But on that note, I hope y'all learned something, got a little history lesson, some into the spiritual work that these ladies do. But we're gonna end it here because we probably got too deep for y'all, and I know y'all about to go ham in the comments.
It ain't nothing too deep for me. I'm sorry, I'm a chill. No, I'm not. I don't want to
let that go. Be a thug real bad.
Nah, I just want to be a witch.
Oh Lord, that's a whole nother story. We're gonna end it right there.
Hit him with it, friend.
My name is
Ash. And I'm Amore.
And that is
Infinite Water
Beauty.
And we will talk to y'all later. We out, y'all.
Peace.